Welcome back, guys, to another video, and today we're revisiting the tail motor mod for all my helicopters. We're gonna try the new FPV, Johnny FPV. Someone recommended me to try these out since I'm in the tail motor mod and reducing the tail signature. He said this helped him with his FLISHRC Apache 500 scale, so we're gonna give it a try. Now, the tail motor mod is going to work on certain helicopters. Now, if you have a Bell V2, which is this guy, or a Bell Gen 1, you can actually do this mod. There's also other helicopters like the Airwolf V2 and lower. And then also the Little Bird. And then also the Squirrel. So the Squirrel, on the other hand, can't do the tail motor mod, but we can add these new props. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to test to see if these are actually quieter than the two-blader, which it is already quiet with this tail motor mod, but we're going to try to make it more quieter. So further ado, I'll show you what it looks like in before, and we'll make a video in the field showing the test result. Now, if you remember my last video, I said for the mod for the Little Bird, you have a clockwise tail motor, so you're going to need to use the 5045R for this two-blader, right? Well, for this one, you need to make sure this is a clockwise too, and I believe this size is a 48 by 38. So further ado, we're going to put that on right there, and then we're going to confirm that both of them, like the wings, that they're in position. Let's focus the camera. There we go. Yeah, they're going the same direction. Perfect. All right, and there you go. Now we have a three-blader tail motor. So it looks super sick. Let's just make sure my wings are right. Yep. All right. Now for the next helicopter, let's do the Airwolf. Okay, so now we have the Airwolf. So this tail motor mod is super easy to do. You just rotate the motor over, and you got to remember this is the FW 450, the 3D version that was able to convert over to the Airwolf. Now, the tail motor is a counterclockwise, but it's always good to confirm that it is before you do any of these mods, because some helicopters can come counter because the wires are just soldered differently, so you just have to cut two, then resolder them back in opposite directions, and you can change the polarity. But I just look at it this way, just get the right prop, and you can do it. So I believe this one was a 5045 counterclockwise, three-bladed tail. So this one looks like it's counterclockwise, which it is. So I verified to make sure that the blade wings, I like to call them, are going into the direction I wanted to go. So this is the one, and so we just take this apart. Perfect. Oh, also on the Airwolf, I'm going to show you something. I actually did some upgrades to my anti-vibration mod. So if you see here, I guess I can point it at. I put Loctite screws, and that was preventing these washers from coming loose due to the vibration, and I put them on both sides. And then I changed the arm to smaller and a little bit more thicker servo arms. And so far, I'm very happy. I'm very pleased. Also, I think I figured out why it was kind of vibrating. For some reason, the Airwolf does not like flying on 75% head speed. Once I got it up to 80, the vibrations went away, and with this mod, it helped out a lot. But every time I fly, this comes loose. So I think it's just the bolt, in my opinion. But so far, it's so good. I hope I'm going to get a video and show you the camera footage very soon. So we're going to test this with this new propeller, this new tail prop. And I think the tail prop is going to be, it's going to be a little bit more responsive, and it's going to be more quieter. That's the goal. So, all right, guys, here we go with the little bird. And this one is using a 5045R. So that means we need to get a clockwise. Yep, clockwise 3-blader right here. And in real life, the little bird is actually like a 4-blader tail. I know the original one, when you get this from Flesh a while ago, I think it was a year ago, before they did all the upgrades, they put a 3-bladed prop, or 4. Can't remember. I think there's some photos still going around. But we're going to go back to 3. We're going to make this more quieter, because this is still loud when you use it. And I think it's just the motor, the design, because it is a racing quad motor. But if we can get this to reduce its sound, this helicopter is already quiet enough, but this thing will be a lot more quieter. And that's going to be great. So let's get this in, and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, there we go. So we got the 3-bladed prop, and so far it does actually miss the helicopter. So that's pretty good. So there's no blade strike going to happen. Unless this really bends, but I don't think it will bend like that. It's a little flexible on the end, but it's very snappy. Even if it does strike it, it's not going to be like a total loss. It's just going to scratch the paint. But I think it'd be fine. It's still like an inch or two. So this is going to be really cool. Can't wait to fly the little bird with this new little tail motor prop mod. And then we're also going to test the endurance at the same time, but in FPV mode. So stay tuned for that video. Now, the next aircraft, the final one that you can do the tail motor, or well, you can change the prop, but these are the last 3 helicopters. You can actually do mods. All the FLISHRCs, I think you can still do them. And like I said before, the Huey Gen 1, I think the Huey Gen 2, V2. Unfortunately, you can't do the tail motor mod on the V3 Huey and the Bell 206 due to their design, but you could actually theoretically do it. You just got to re-drill the holes in the housing. That's what I think. If I ever had a V3, that's what I would do. But I got the V2 Bell kind of /3 because it uses a lot of 3rd generation stuff that were being introduced in the ecosystem. And I still have the very first Gen 1 Huey. So, which I might actually do that too. Might do the mod on that one too. But further ado, let's get to the squirrel. Okay, so here's the squirrel. So this one does not have the mod. You're not able to do the mod. You could if you want to cut on the other side, but it's pointless. So usually it takes a 50-45 facing inwards. So the numbers are facing inwards like all other Flywing helicopters that come out of the box. Whatever you buy, this is on the standard side. So for me, I'm using a counterclockwise blade, and then I'm going to flip it inwards and go like that. So it spins clockwise, but the numbers are facing in. So that's that. So I'm going to put that on. I think this will give the squirrel a little bit more agility and make it a little bit more responsive on the tail section, in my opinion. And also, I did upgrade the Squirrel to have a new Flywing ESC. Like my last video on the Squirrel, like I said, there was a kind of like a overheating issue. I did the heating mod, and I did some recommendations. So Flywing came out with the 4th generation of their ESCs with heat sinks built in, and is a tad bit bigger. So I can't wait to put this to the test. And lucky for me, put that back on, I have a Flywing 5000, and we're going to redo the whole test, flying this helicopter in the new ESC with the new battery in hot temperature weather. It's summertime, and hopefully I should have good airflow coming through, and I won't need to add the fan. And we're going to do another temperature test to see if it was overheating and if the new ESCs are working great or properly. So far, I haven't heard anything bad about them. I have a couple helicopters already used them, and I'm very impressed with them, like the Little Bird and the EC 135. They both have the ESC. I don't feel any heat on them. It's great. So hopefully the ESC problem is done with the Squirrel, and I'll start flying again. You can notice I haven't flown it for a while. It's very dusty, so I just got to rebind it and go from there. So let's put the further ado, let's put the tail prop on and go from there. It looks like it fell off, and there we go. We have the last prop on all my helicopters besides the Huey. Usually these come in a 4 in a pack, so you get 2 counter and 2 clockwise. So if you have aircrafts that have the mod, you can do it. So I'm looking forward to trying these new blades out and see if it does do another sound reduction. And I think this would be a good test too, because this helicopter is actually, the prop's actually facing standard, so we can do a comparison. Nah, we'll still go with the original Pran. We'll fly it with the 2-blader and then the 3-blader, or I'll just pull some old stock footage and we can do the comparison videos on that too. That'd probably be easier. So yeah, well, I hope this video was interesting, and stay tuned. I should at least have a video coming out soon on this test, and then we'll start seeing some of these aircrafts flying in the air. So yeah, further ado, well, stay safe out there, guys. Happy flying, and have a good one.